My last dental checkup was the best I've had in 20 years. Less plaque, less inflammation, and my dentist was genuinely surprised. I hadn't started a complicated new routine. I didn't buy an expensive gadget. The one change I made is a simple 60-second habit that costs nothing. It's a technique I call the protective rinse, and it works by immediately resetting the environment in your mouth after every single meal or drink. It's the simplest modification you can adopt, but the impact is profound. I will show you exactly how and why this rinse works and how it earned that reaction from my dental professional. This is not a suggestion to brush more or floss better, though those foundational habits remain crucial. This hour focuses on adding a powerful, science-backed layer of defense to your day. It's about taking command of the chemistry inside your mouth. We all know dental health is vital, especially as we enter our later decades. Dental costs climb, sensitivity escalates. The simple pleasure of eating crisp, fresh food or savoring a cup of morning coffee becomes complicated. We dread the expensive and often painful battle against decay. But what if you could change the game entirely? What if you could stop damaging your teeth, often through actions you believed were healthy? This simple habit, consistently used, is the most effective, non-invasive way to neutralize the silent, ongoing acid attack that erodes your enamel and inflames your gum tissue. Over the next hour, we will unlock the specific studies that confirm the power of this rinse. We will walk through the exact technique and detail the precise timing that transforms this simple action into profound protection. If you are ready to finally feel confident about your next dental visit and claim back your food joy, tap the like button now. This small gesture ensures this crucial information reaches more savvy seniors who deserve this knowledge. The true enemy of your enamel is not sugar itself. It is the acid that sugar enables. Every time we consume anything other than plain water, we instantly alter the chemistry within our mouths. When food particles combine with naturally occurring bacteria, those bacteria begin to produce acid immediately. This process is unstoppable. It begins the instant food or drink touches your tongue. This acid is highly corrosive. It is the core culprit behind sensitive teeth, accelerated wear, and deep cavities. Think of your tooth enamel as a crystalline structure. When the mouth maintains its neutral state, the enamel is hard, strong, and highly resistant to wear. But when acid hits, the pH level plummets rapidly. A normal healthy mouth should hover around 7.0, which is perfectly neutral. When you drink a citrus juice, the pH can drop toward 3.0. Even substances we consider healthy, such as unsweetened black coffee, vinaigrette dressings, or herbal teas, are acidic enough to cause concern. The moment the pH falls below 5.5, a destructive process begins. This is the critical danger zone. In this acidic environment, the enamel structure begins to soften. Your tooth starts to leach its protective minerals, calcium and phosphate, out into the saliva. This leaching process is called demineralization. It is invisible, but it occurs every single time you eat. This softening and dissolving period lasts for at least 20 minutes, often extending up to 40 minutes after you finish consuming. This constant acid exposure is a cumulative disaster. If you slowly sip your morning coffee over a long work session, your mouth may spend 90 continuous minutes in that danger zone. If you are a continuous grazer, snacking frequently throughout the day, your mouth may never successfully recover. The enamel never gets the chance to reharden fully. This relentless cycle of softening and dissolving explains why many older adults experience increased root sensitivity and rapid thinning of their enamel, even if they brush diligently. The one change we advocate, the protective rinse, completely halts this damaging cycle in its tracks. Why then do dentists insist we wait 20 minutes before brushing? This is the most crucial piece of knowledge to grasp, and it's where accidental self-damage often occurs. If the acid has successfully softened your enamel, the tooth surface is at its most vulnerable state. If you then apply an abrasive toothpaste and the scrubbing action of a toothbrush, you are literally sweeping away the weakened, softened layer of enamel. This action causes microerosion. You are accelerating the wear and tear on your tooth structure with every wrong-timed brush. This aggressive action after an acid attack is scientifically linked to progressive gum recession and heightened tooth sensitivity over time. Ironically, the very act intended to clean your teeth can speed up the need for expensive dental crowns or fillings. The simple rule is non-negotiable. Always wait at least 20 to 30 minutes after consuming anything acidic before brushing. But what exactly can we do during that critical 20-minute wait? The protective rinse is the answer. The rinse achieves two powerful outcomes simultaneously. The first is mechanical, the second is chemical. Mechanically, a robust rinse instantly flushes away the lingering food debris that bacteria desperately need to sustain acid production. Less debris means less fuel for the fire, resulting in lower acid output. Chemically, the rinse immediately introduces a neutral liquid, plain tap water, which instantly begins diluting and washing away the existing acid pool, quickly raising the mouth's pH level. Water is the most accessible, perfect neutralizer available. You are giving your natural defenses a crucial head start. Your saliva is a complex fluid packed with natural buffering agents. Its job is to restore the pH level above 5.5, stopping the demineralization process. However, after a highly acidic meal, your saliva reservoirs become overwhelmed and exhausted. It needs time to catch up. The protective rinse acts as a rapid, high-volume buffer, immediately clearing the path for your natural salivary defenses to resume their work without strain. This is an immediate, powerful counterattack against acid. This simple routine requires 60 seconds, perhaps less. It demands no expensive equipment, it is completely free, and its effectiveness in drastically shortening the duration of the acid attack is highly evidenced. Instead of your mouth lingering in the danger zone for 20 to 40 minutes, the rinse can successfully return the pH to safe levels in less than 2 minutes. This massive reduction in acid exposure time translates directly into significant enamel preservation over a lifetime. Let's focus on the actionable steps now. We must detail the exact technique. This is not a casual sip and swallow. This is a targeted, forceful intervention. Step 1. Use a generous mouthful of plain tap water, ideally at room temperature. Extreme cold water can sometimes trigger unnecessary sensitivity. Step 2. Vigorously swish the water. The action must be strong enough to propel the water into every crevice, between the teeth and along the delicate gum line. Step 3. Tilt your head back and perform a brief, controlled gargle. This helps to flush acid and debris from the back of the tongue and the throat area where harmful bacteria often colonize. Step 4. Spit the water completely out. You are flushing away the concentrated acid and loose bacteria. Do not swallow this mixture. The duration is critical to the chemical effect. Aim for a committed 30 to 60 seconds of active rinsing. Visualize it as a necessary cleansing operation inside your mouth. If you only swish for 10 seconds, you only manage a partial removal of debris. You will not achieve the crucial chemical neutralization needed to raise the pH level effectively. 30 seconds is the verified minimum time required to significantly buffer the acid environment. The long-term success of this habit rests entirely on its consistency. When precisely must you perform this action? The rule is simple and unwavering. Perform the protective rinse after every single thing you consume, excluding pure plain water. This means immediately after you finish your morning coffee, after the mid-morning cracker snack, after your lunchtime soup, after the afternoon diet soda, after your glass of juice, After dinner. If you are a slow drinker, rinse vigorously as soon as you put the cup down for the final time. If you graze intermittently, rinse immediately after the very last bite. The effectiveness of the rinse is dependent on it being an immediate, rapid-fire response to acid exposure. Do not delay. One of the most life-changing benefits of the rinse is for those who experience chronic dry mouth or xerostomia, which is highly prevalent in the senior population. Many common medications for conditions like hypertension, allergies, and mood stabilization can severely diminish natural saliva production. When saliva flow is compromised, the mouth loses its inherent ability to buffer acid and cleanse itself. This condition makes dry mouth sufferers extremely susceptible to aggressive, rapid-onset decay. If you struggle with dry mouth, the protective rinse transcends helpful and becomes absolutely essential. The rinse manually assists the job your exhausted salivary glands are struggling to perform. It instantly washes away particles and reintroduces vital moisture and a neutral pH. It is a critical, self-administered defense mechanism. If you feel persistent dryness, consider adopting a quick 15-second rinse every time that sensation occurs. This small, proactive intervention can dramatically stabilize your long-term oral health profile. Let's investigate the scientific basis for this simple habit. We ground our advice in established dental research. Studies focusing on measuring oral pH levels provide compelling evidence of the rapid buffering effect of water. Researchers meticulously track the severe pH drop following consumption of high-acid beverages like wine or sports drinks. They then measure the recovery time. Without intervention, that recovery time is typically between 30 and 45 minutes. With a single effective water rinse, that recovery period is frequently reduced to under 5 minutes. This substantial reduction in daily acid exposure time is directly correlated with long-term preservation of tooth structure. Furthermore, dental hygienists consistently identify lingering food debris as a major contributor to localized plaque accumulation, particularly along the gum line and interproximal spaces. The mechanical force of a vigorous rinse helps physically dislodge these fine particles before they become sticky and mature into hard, mineralized plaque. Plaque formation leads to gingivitis, the initial stage of gum inflammation. If gingivitis is ignored, it advances to periodontitis, which is irreversible bone loss around the teeth. Maintaining robust gum health is paramount for older adults. Recession and chronic inflammation are the primary drivers of eventual tooth loss. By reducing the overall bacteria load and swiftly neutralizing the acid that irritates fragile gum tissue, the protective rinse actively supports healthier, firmer gums. This simple 60-second routine extends far beyond mere cavity prevention. It is about safeguarding the structural foundation of your entire smile. If you are finding this information actionable and worthwhile, please do subscribe now and hit the notification bell. We continue to share deeply researched, practical guidance every week to help you thrive after 55. Visualize your mouth not as a battleground, but as a meticulously maintained piece of equipment. Every meal creates crumbs and acidic residue. If you allow the residue to sit, it degrades the parts and harbors corrosive elements. The protective rinse functions as a quick, powerful cleanup immediately after every use. You maintain the machine's neutral state, allowing the natural repair and self-cleansing mechanisms to function optimally. You prevent the slow, destructive buildup that eventually necessitates expensive and complicated maintenance. I shared the claim that my dentist was shocked. I want to articulate the specific, measurable results that validated that claim, which brings us to the core payoff of this comprehensive video. Before fully integrating the protective rinse into my life, my semi-annual dental checkups consistently flagged two issues: mild to moderate generalized gum inflammation, especially around the lower back molars, and persistent root sensitivity, triggered by cold air or beverages. I was diligent with my usual routine, yet the results never quite matched my effort. After 6 consistent months of performing the protective rinse, after every single coffee, every snack, every meal, the change was dramatic and visible. The hygienist immediately noticed almost zero inflammation. She remarked on the significantly lower plaque levels in areas that had always been challenging. When the dentist conducted the comprehensive exam, checking gum pockets and testing for sensitivity, the improvements were profound. The sharp, cold sensations had vanished. When I explained that the consistent 60-second rinse was the only major change I had implemented, he was visibly taken aback. He reviewed my historical chart and then confirmed, "Whatever you are doing, keep it up. The chemical balance in your mouth has stabilized dramatically." This level of success is accessible to you because we are targeting the root problem, acid exposure time. We are maximizing the impact of the 1-minute window immediately following consumption. We are not adding complexity to your life. We are adding immense efficiency. Consider the potential long-term benefit. If you consume 5 things a day, that represents 5 distinct acid attacks. Without the rinse, that is potentially 150 minutes of cumulative enamel softening exposure every day. With the rinse, you quickly reduce that to perhaps 15 minutes of manageable exposure. That difference, compounded over years, is the definition of enamel longevity. Let's address common concerns and ensure this habit works for every lifestyle. What if you seek to amplify the neutralizing power of the rinse? For individuals facing chronic acidity problems like persistent heartburn or those with severe medication-induced dry mouth, adding a tiny amount of common baking soda can be enormously beneficial. Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is a highly effective, safe, and powerful buffering agent. To create an enhanced protective rinse, simply dissolve 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda into 8 ounces of room temperature water. Use this solution for your 60-second rinse. The pronounced alkalinity of the baking soda will immediately and forcefully raise the mouth's pH level, accelerating the recovery time even faster than plain water. However, a caution is necessary. Do not use the baking soda rinse constantly throughout the day. Limit this practice to once or twice daily, ideally following your largest or most acidic meals. For all other times, pure plain water is perfectly sufficient and preferable. Strategic consistency, not constant intervention, drives success. What about commercial mouthwashes? Most over-the-counter mouthwashes contain alcohol or harsh, indiscriminate antiseptics. While they kill germs, remember the ecosystem concept. Indiscriminate killing wipes out the beneficial bacteria that keep the mouth balanced and prevent issues like fungal overgrowth, which is a concern in later life. For the protective rinse, stick to water or the targeted baking soda solution. Only use therapeutic, medicated mouthwashes when specifically prescribed by your dental care team. Another high-impact, evidence-based enhancement to this habit involves the use of xylitol. Xylitol is a natural sugar alcohol that harmful cavity-causing bacteria simply cannot metabolize. By chewing xylitol gum or using a xylitol mint immediately after performing your protective rinse, you achieve 2 things. You mechanically stimulate a powerful flush of fresh, mineral-rich saliva, and you introduce an environment that starves the bad bacteria. Therefore, the optimal sequence for maximum daily protection is: first, consume food or drink. Second, immediately perform the vigorous 60-second protective water rinse. Third, wait 5 minutes for the buffering to stabilize. Fourth, chew xylitol gum or use a mint for 5 minutes to stimulate repair. Fifth, wait at least 20 minutes before performing your regular gentle brushing routine. This rinse, stimulate, wait approach creates an effortless yet incredibly robust line of defense against the daily wear and tear that threatens your smile. This practice works regardless of your specific oral hygiene products. Many older adults worry about fluoride or whether to use expensive remineralizing toothpastes containing ingredients like nanohydroxyapatite. The protective rinse is universally beneficial. The primary function of the rinse is to stabilize the pH level first, ensuring that whichever product you choose, fluoride, hydroxyapatite, or natural, can work effectively. If your enamel is constantly softened by daily acid attacks, even the best toothpaste will struggle to heal and repair the tooth surface. By neutralizing the acid with the rinse, you create the optimal physiological conditions for natural remineralization to thrive. Let's address the challenge of consistency. Rinsing 5 or 6 times a day might feel daunting initially. This is where the practice of habit stacking becomes your ally. Integrate the rinse into an established routine. The moment you place your empty coffee mug in the sink, automatically walk the extra step to the tap and rinse. The second you finish the last bite of your lunch, perform the rinse before getting up from the table. Keep a dedicated glass or reminder note visible near your workspace. Because the rinse is so simple and requires only water, it is far less intrusive or time-consuming than trying to incorporate flossing or brushing more often. Accept that dental health is a slow, cumulative process. You should not expect visible changes after just 1 week. But I assure you, after a committed 90 days of consistent protective rinsing, you will notice a difference in the tactile sensation of your teeth. The generalized sensitivity will likely diminish. You may observe less visible film or plaque buildup. When you walk into your next professional cleaning, you will carry the confidence that you have implemented a major evidence-backed strategy to protect your oral health. You have proactively addressed the core chemical vulnerability in a simple, sustainable way. Ultimately, this entire practice empowers you. You are taking direct control of your body's internal chemistry. You are not relying solely on expensive tools or frequent professional interventions. You are harnessing a free, powerful, natural physiological defense mechanism. The ability to manage your mouth's acid exposure time is the crucial secret to lifelong tooth resilience and healthy gums. It is the key to maintaining your food enjoyment and your self-assured confidence well into your later years. If you commit today to this one simple habit, the 60-second protective rinse, you are giving yourself an invaluable gift. You are saving your enamel. You are supporting your gum tissue. You are significantly reducing your probability of needing major dental work down the line. Take this profound yet simple knowledge and implement it now. Start with your very next meal or drink. Just rinse. If this in-depth guide has inspired you to make this change, please give this video a solid thumbs up. Share your initial thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your willingness to act inspires our entire community. Commit today to the 60-second habit that your strong, healthy smile will thank you for in the decades to come.